Okay. Now, when you, oh, okay. We're on. I was just trying to ask you if you're talking and I'm talking at the same time, can you still hear me? Okay.
Properties, default. Let's just do, god dang it, I can't even see that. Realtek? All right, we'll do Realtek. All right, say something, please.
We online right now? Are we
Okay,
online?
good. We're both.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Cheerios is the greatest cereal.
Can you hear me when I'm talking?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Settle down.
I can hear you.
Settle down, fella. All right, we'll check the audio. I'm going to check the audio on the YouTube.
Okay.
Settle down.
I can hear you.
Settle down, fella. All right, let's check now, I just checked. Check
crap.
the audio. I'm going to check the audio on the YouTube.
Okay.
I just checked the YouTubes. We are getting a little bit of an echo. So hold on a second, because I think I got 2 mics rolling.
Ah.
All right, say something.
La 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 la.
It's lovely. All right, let's go see on the YouTubes.
Something. La 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 la.
It's lovely. All right, let's. Okay. All right. So, good times. So, okay. So I think go ahead and speak.
I am Philberto. I'm here in Arizona where it's 116 degrees outside.
Holy shit, brother. Don't people just, that's where spontaneous combustion came from, was Arizona? People just walked out with like too much cologne and burst into flame. Uh-oh. What happened?
I lost your video.
Let's see. Good God, we're live on air, man.
I know, we got technical difficulties.
We are live on air. Turn on camera. Oh, there we go. Turn on camera. There I go. Oh, there you go. Hey, money. All right, let's go see how OBS is doing. OBS is still like, dude, what up? Pop it out, and let's see how OBS is. Bro. Window capture. No, we don't want that. Live dashboard. Discord, Philberto. No. It tricks me because it's got your name on it. No. Discord null. Oh, that's us. Null. Good. Okay. So where are we? I don't see us. Okay, well. Wow. Everything's fine, and then it goes sideways. Window capture. And there we are. So we're here. Oh, I see where we went. We're down below, bro. We're down below. Oh no, that is my, let's see, window capture. Oh, there we go. There we are. All right, let's see. Transform. Why don't any of the big YouTubers have these problems? All right, there you go.
Good question.
Wow. Okay. Huh?
Are we in business?
Yeah. We're back in business again, sorta. Chroma key. Yeah. There you go. Dr. Disrespect is back on Twitch, baby.
It's quite surprised to see. I was talking with Dr. Disrespect today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can go ahead and tweet that out. Yeah. Yes.
You got kicked off Twitch or something?
Yes, there was a unfortunate incident with a series of two ladies. You know what's the funny thing is he hasn't come out and said anything about it. Yeah. He hasn't come out and said anything about it, but it involved the woman he was married to and a woman that he was fooling around with. So I'm like, that's probably what it's about. I think basically they're being very quiet about it, but basically I know is that Twitch came out and said that he violated their code of ethics or the TOS, and they're like, well, no matter how big you are, it doesn't matter how big you are, if you like violate, blah blah blah, our ethical standards, then we're going to kick you from the platform. So, and he was banned, allegedly banned for life. So that's it. There's no coming back. And he had I think it was a $13 million contract or $10 million contract with Twitch, and he was one of their number one talents. So they've lost Ninja to Microsoft. Microsoft paid Ninja $13 million or $30 million. I think it was $30 million. And then they just closed down Mixer. So I know you were big on Mixer, Philberto. I know you were a big streamer on Mixer.
I didn't Mixer until a week ago.
You were like, Mixer, what the freak is that? Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I actually had a Mixer channel. I did. I actually had a Mixer channel, and it just did nothing and went nowhere. And I uploaded like a couple of times, and then I just never did. You just never heard anything about it,
Yeah.
So,
I've heard about Twitch. I never go on Twitch really, but at least it's out there in the public and stuff. Mixer just completely faded out of.
Yeah, and now they're just like third partying it to Facebook. So
How weird.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So oh yeah, you know what I need to put into this that we're also going to do. We're going to make you talk about GANTZ. Hashtag GANTZ.
I just finished watching it literally like 15 minutes.
Did you? You watched it? Oh, that's awesome, bro. What'd you think?
I liked it, man. It was. I usually don't like that kind of animation style where it's trying to be like ultra realistic.
Yeah. Because
it always hits that kind of like uncanny valley kind of way. But they did a really good job in that GANTZ movie. I was surprised. I'm like, wow, this is pretty clean.
I didn't know if you know this, but Dr. Disrespect drinks off-brand tonic water. That's his drink of choice, is Dr. Disrespect. Right.
That's some good trivia in that.
And actually, this is Publix brand. Publix brand tonic water is like the best.
Is it? I don't think we have Publix here in Arizona.
For some reason, every time I drink it, though, there's mustache hair in it. It's disgusting. What are they doing at the bottling company? God sakes.
Some IPA from some Bears brewery here in Arizona.
What are you, a grown man drinking beer in your own home? Jesus Christ! You're probably a white nationalist too. Okay, we just got banned. He said white nationalist. Oh, brother. Okay, so Dr. Disrespect. So now he's going to be on Spotify. But what?
Okay.
Spotify's just like another like video service, right? I mean, I'm not on Spotify.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think the kids are on it. I don't know about that shit. It's like TikTok or TalkTick or some shit. There's
so many of these services out there. It's hard to keep track of them, seriously.
Anymore, yeah, but like Spotify? And isn't Spotify owned by Facebook too? I think Spotify's owned by Facebook. I don't know, but Dr. Disrespect, one thing I did watch is I watched when he got the phone call of like what his fate was on Twitch.
Uh-huh.
And I watched that, and you could tell that was a grown man getting some really bad news, bro. And he put the phone down. He like listened, and he was just like, you could see, like he was like, and he's like, and he puts the phone down, and he goes, yeah, I really didn't feel like doing this stream, but now I don't feel like getting off. And he's like, and then he says, you got to be really strong in this world.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, you're right, bro, because your platform could, you can build. This is what I said. I don't know if you watched it. Okay, this is I think is such a key point with all of these platforms. All of it is. I did a video about the quartering getting banned on Twitter, and I said, you are why YouTube calls you an independent creator is because you're an independent contractor or subcontractor. That's how they think of you. Like you are literally an employee. That's why they have like a terms of service. You're getting like the employee manual. Do you know what I mean? And if you've worked for any company at all, they always build it into their employee agreement or whatever you have to sign, or their manual, that they can you at any time. It's like they put it in there so that if it's like you do anything sideways, they can get rid of you. And that's exactly the same as these platforms. Don't think you're doing anything. Everybody thinks they're doing stuff creatively. I think that. I mean, that's why I do it. But you're an employee essentially. But you're not a regular employee. You're not like getting a paycheck. You are an independent contractor that's providing content for the platform. And if they don't like you, they can cut you loose. That's why they say it's a private business. Everybody's like, well, what do you mean it's a private business? What about freedom of speech? The reason you can't do that is because you're an independent contractor. They don't even have to like put you on a performance development plan. They just say, hey, and that's what they have. That's their 3-strike system. Do you notice that?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to worry because we're not monetized. Right?
Oh, yeah, who cares, right?
These guys who are monetized, they're under scrutiny all the time, I'm sure. And that's one thing that really confused me with Dr. Disrespect, though. Like, he's making so much money for the Twitch, right?
Yeah.
And they still get rid of him. That's so bizarre to me. Why would they do that when he's making so much money?
I can answer that question for you. What my opinion is on that question. I think there's a purge going on of white males. I do. He's a strong, outspoken white guy. So is Joe. You see the attacks that Joe's under now? Somebody else came forward, and but Joe is excuse me while I smooth. Joe is again, he's a Hispanic man, but he's he's a guy. He's a young, outspoken, successful guy. And I personally think all of a sudden, just recently, it's like open season. The quartering gets banned. Joe gets Me Too'd. Dr. Disrespect gets the boot. Guess what? They all have something in common.
I think the same thing's going on in Hollywood too. I hear a lot of people that are making movies now are just not wanting to even cast like white men anymore.
No, yeah, it's a purge, bro. You can call it whatever you want, but it is a purge. And I'm like, I was waiting for them to come for Dr. Disrespect, to be honestly, because he's a very outgoing, very powerful guy on that platform. And they basically just said, take off. And they got rid of Ninja already because Microsoft bought out Ninja. So, again, what I said to the quartering in my video to him was, they're coming for you, bro. They banned you on Twitch or on Twitter. And I'm like, they'll come for you eventually. I'm like, you have to migrate over to alternative media like BitChute, So I have a BitChute channel. I neglect it, but I'm going to have to get a little bit more active with it. And when you live stream, it's funny. When you live stream, you have to download it and then re-upload it, and it's just like it's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. So I don't know. You can't live stream on BitChute yet. Like they're still developing the platform, so you just can't go live stream as far as I know. I haven't looked at it in a while, but
it's quite small, isn't it?
BitChute?
Pretty small.
Yeah, but you know what? On average, I get higher viewers. I only have like 4 subscribers or something over there, but I get hundreds of views. I get better performance on average than I get on YouTube, which shows you how borked my shit is. That shows you how borked it is, because I'm like, okay, I've got 407 subscribers, and I've got like 4 on, or 5 or 6 or something like that on BitChute, and my performance per video is significantly better. Significantly better. Yeah, and I'm like, why am I not over there all the time? I kind of get on myself because I'm so used to doing it this way that I'm like, man, I should just go BitChute exclusive, and if I make a good video and like do these kind of things, because they don't have a live stream set up or anything like that. I'm really getting into this Dr. Disrespect look, dude. I'm into it. I thought I was gonna tear it off in like 1 minute, but now I'm like, should I make a name that's like schmarmy, like Dr. Disrepute or something like that?
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Dr. Disrepute. Anyway.
It's so true also.
What's that?
I said it's so true of a name too.
Yes, I'm of disrepute. I truly am. So yeah, man, you know. So let's talk anime. Let's talk GANTZ. So
right.
there is and I couldn't help myself. I really shouldn't have bought it. You know, I just got this City Shrouded in Shadow. This is not a cheap game, okay? You got to pay real money for this one.
Oh, but you said it was cheap.
No, this one? No.
Yeah.
This was not cheap. No. No. This is, first of all, you have to pay, like, the import is expensive now too. It's like everybody wants like $20 shipping and handling. So it's no, this was real money. This was like $40. So for me, that's a lot of money to pay for a game. And I love it though. I actually really enjoyed. I went back for a second playthrough and got to part way through of the Godzilla. And now I understand how to play it. It's just that it just goes that much smoother. And it's just cool. I love kaiju. I love the whole thing.
Okay.
That's my weeb rant right there. So now this one, which I could actually pop in and pop it on the Discord for you to see, but My Hero One's Justice. It's a fighting game, and it's like an arena fighter, similar to. It's kind of like more three-dimensional Super Smash. It's like, but it's got anime characters in it, and you have like a 3-team with a main character and 2 tag. And you can do like combination super moves and stuff like that. It's really sharp. The fidelity on this thing is fantastic, and the control is really sharp. But I got this out of a pawn shop. My Hero One's Justice, really cool anime fighting game. Yeah, it's quite cool.
Never heard of it. Is it kind of like that 7 Deadly Sins game you were showing before?
That is actually not a fighting game. This is a straight up fighter, but it's an arena fighter, and it's kind of like J-Stars. It's a little bit like J-Stars, where it's like a 3-person team, and it's another game that's like it, but it's more of an arena. You can do knockouts, you can do knock-throughs, and down to another level.
Like that.
Yeah, and then you can also ring out if you're on the board that is just like off into space, or on a cliff or whatever it is. Yeah,
It's cool.
Yeah, so no, My Hero One's Justice, pretty cool. This was Arslan. I don't know. This is 7 Deadly Sins. Now, this is more of an RPG adventure game. I think it's like an action RPG, to be honest. I haven't popped it in yet. I intend to, though, and probably do a video on it. First impression.
I checked it out on YouTube. It kind of just looks like, you're in one fight, and then you get maybe like a little story, and then you do another fight. Kind of something like that. Mm-hmm. It didn't look like an RPG or anything.
Okay. I'll have to check it out, but
yeah.
And
Did
then
you ever watch the anime for that one?
What's that?
Did you ever watch the 7 Deadly Sins anime?
No. Is it good?
It's pretty funny. It's really like It's on Netflix if you want to check it out.
Okay. Yeah, I will. And of course, I got Earth Defense Force 4.1. That is the reverse cover. I swapped it out. You know I'm quick to do that crap. Okay, so GANTZ. So GANTZ, there are two. I actually found a really cool deal on the eBays. I'm going to pull up my eBay and see what's up.
I still can't get Dr. Disrepute here.
Dr. Disrepute. Oh. I'm going to do a reenactment.
All right, let's see it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We just lost somebody. There you go. You're back.
I had everything reset on my phone.
Hey. All right. So,
okay.
So yeah, there you go. You missed that part. That's fine. But it was like he was like, you have to be really strong in this world. He was like, you have to be really strong in this world.
Yeah, the good thing is he'll probably make money wherever he does next. So.
Well, he was making money, and you never know if he had a clause in his contract where they had to buy him out. See, a lot of people don't realize that. It's like if you want to get out of a contract and you don't want a messy legal battle, what they'll do is they'll even write it into the contract. I used to have to deal with this at Home Shopping Network, where we would have to decide whether we wanted to put up with the bullshit of the celebrity or buy him out of their contract. Even employees, we had this one guy, and he was supposedly this like industry insider guy, and he was a buyer. And he was a complete train wreck. And he had a gambling problem. He was a coke addict. And you would go into his office like, and this guy was the caricature. You go into his office and you could tell he just freaking snorted coke. And he would be like sweating and twitching, and he'd be like, yeah, whatever you want. We're going to get it for you. We're going to get it for you, Rob. You know, it's like, and I'm like, oh, bro. I'm like, is this guy even going to remember the conversation? And I'd go in the next day, and I'm getting a little tape situation going on there. Okay, good. So you go into his office the next day, and you go, hey man, do you remember what we talked about? What? No. Yeah, you'd have to have the meeting over again, and he just could not get anything done. And he would disappear for days.
Go fuel binges.
Yeah, or gambling or whatever it was. But he was a freaking train wreck. He was a drug addict, a gambler, and he would always be in like alcoholic sweats. You know, be always and he was a professional looking guy. Like, he looked the part. I mean, he looked like the guy who was in American Psycho. You know, I mean, he was like 6'2", and he had the professional hair and the Italian suits and he had the whole situation, the look, and that's what got him into the job. And they discovered, but they had paid for his contract for 3 years. And they wanted him gone within 6 months. I can't hear you. What's that?
Did they just buy him out?
They did. They had to pay him like $300,000 to get rid of him.
Well, that's some more coke money for him.
I mean, you don't know what was built into Dr. Disrespect's contract. Everybody's crying about him. But, hey, they might have said, well, we got you for a 3-year, $13 million. We've got a clause in here that says we can buy you out at like $1 million or $3 million, and it's just done. Otherwise, but we're not going to let you go back on. So you can take the buyout, or we can go to court. You know, that's how it works. And he probably just took the buyout. So, and good for him. He probably walked away with a nice chunk of change. So it's rarely when you go into deals that are that big that there isn't some kind of clause in there that says if we choose to buy you out for because you go sideways or you embarrass us, you take a buyout and you call it a day. So they gave him and it might be one of those things where it was a mandatory buyout, like he didn't have any say in it. Like they just say, hey, we're cutting you a check. Have a nice day. It's been nice working with you. So. He probably got a nice payout. We're not worried about Dr. Disrepute needs money, not Dr. Disrespect. So okay, so GANTZ has 2 live action movies. I didn't realize they had come out with a sequel live action. I'm very excited about that.
Okay.
But I was rolling through eBay looking to buy the DVDs, and I thought I was going to have to buy the live action separately, and then the anime movie separately, and then the anime series separately. But I found a collection that had all of it on in one collection.
Nice.
Yeah, for $30. For $29.99, you get both. Now I don't know if it said it was from the nation of Bhutan. Is that bad? No, I'm just kidding you, bro. No, I'm just kidding you.
Or an option?
It said ask for Pepe in Bhutan. No. No, but it was on eBay, so you know it's legit. I think my feed cut out. No, but it was on eBay. It was a collection. It was both live actions, the entire anime series, and then the OVA, the GANTZ Zero OVA. So I'm like $29.99. Boom, sign me up, baby. So yeah, I'm gonna say what?
How many seasons is the show?
I don't know. It's like almost 30 episodes. It's like 26 episodes.
That's a good amount.
Yeah. So what did you think about the anime again? You liked it?
The monsters I thought were the most impressive thing. Just how scary and spooky they were.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. I wasn't a really big fan of the like all the kind of blue weapons they have. Like it's a little cheesy. Like, okay, if the weapon's blue, it's ready to go. If it's red, it's not working. It's like, okay, that's silly. But no, I enjoyed it. It's good action flick.
Let me see.
I didn't.
Go ahead.
I didn't really understand the very ending. I could see, like the Kato guy. I guess he had previously been part of this group, I guess. And then am I spoiling anything? I don't spoil. So he's part of this group, and I guess he lost his memories, but then he still has some of them. The ending was just confusing. Did you remember that part?
Vaguely. I have not watched the animated one. I'm actually more of a fan of the live action.
Oh, okay. So I'm not. You haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, I've seen it, and the original anime movie is very good. Like I watched the anime movie after I watched the live action, and I just stumbled on the live action. I don't even remember how I came across it or where I was or whatever. It was just like it blew me away. I think it was like way back in the day. I had the Independent Channel. I think I saw it on that, but like I'm like GANTZ. What the hell is this? Well, I'm like it's Japanese. Let's watch. So, and I'm like it just the effects of the like warping in and warping out was so cool in the live action. It's actually cooler in the live action than it is in the anime. Yeah, because they play with it a lot, and they have the actors be like, I mean, they really react to what's going on, and the visual effects in the live action are so well done. They're so well done. They're like a combination of CGI and models. And it's just so bizarre in Japanese. And like I was shocked the first time they looked in the ball and there was a guy in the ball. I'm like, oh fuck, there's a guy in there. But I would like it if there wasn't a guy in there. It's just so ambiguous. It's just this black sphere, you know?
There's a guy in there?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Oh! I look so Italian. Oh, what's the matter you? But
I thought it was like a robot or something.
No, it's a physical guy who you eventually can volunteer to be GANTZ. Like you go, yeah, it's a person in there and he's got like a breathing mask. And he coordinates that. And the song that GANTZ plays is actually a Japanese working song. It like, you know, remember back in the 80s and stuff with the Japanese business practices, and they would do calisthenics every day before they would go into work and sing a song, and that was one of the working songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's a Japanese working song, like when you come to work and hey, we're going to be productive today, and you know, all this shit. So yeah, it's
like singing. I thought it was something maybe they'd sing in school or something.
It's a working song. It's really cool though. That's like, there's so many little things about that anime that I think are amazing, and you got to get the live action, bro. You got to get the live action. So, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You know. But yeah, GANTZ is like one of my favorite things. And if you look, they have like very, very suggestive PVC statues of some of the female characters. Yes, they do.
Male characters.
Female, not male. So that are very, very racy, very racy. You know, so.
When were these made? Back in the 90s or something?
Well, you know, I know that I actually think it's early 2000s because the technology is so good on the live action. See, it originated as a manga. So the manga is even more brutal. I mean, it's balls out. It's ruthless. And I haven't picked up the manga yet, but I might. But I'm like, for some reason, I'm a big GANTZ fan. I'm like, I like the whole thing because it kind of, you know, it's not often that I watch something that kind of blows me away. But GANTZ, when I first saw the live action, it just kept blowing me away because it just shows you like when the two young men get killed by the subway, it just shows them appearing, regaining consciousness in the apartment. But then later, when the girl appears, they show you the effect of the kind of the digital recreation that they do. And I was just like, oh my God, whoa. It already had me at hello. And it was like, and I saw that. And then they had a guy who was obviously Yakuza brought in. And then like you say, the critters are the frosting on the thing. They're just whack. I mean, they're just whack. They're crazy. Even the first one likes onions. They're made of onions. They are onions, and they like onions. It's just like bizarre.
Oh, weird.
Anyway, so on the PS2, they have a GANTZ video game, and it's a Japanese import only. And I just bought it. And if you go look it up, if you just put GANTZ PS2 into eBay, it's not cheap either.
Oh. Have you played it yet?
No, I ordered it though. I'm so cool, much cooler with this getup. Now I understand why he does it. I'm like an anime bandito. I'm like, what do you want?
It's only much to this, I think.
I got my tape. I have white Gorilla tape because that was the first tape I found.
Oh gosh.
So I had to get some black Gorilla tape, and you couldn't even see the tape. Like you can see the tape, man. Yeah, so I gave some. Yeah, and I like this mustache too because it's very full. You know, like his is much smaller, and I have smaller ones, but I'm going for the big handlebars, baby. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, I can't believe I've gotten this far with all this crap on.
I know. Can you even see the screen?
I can see, but not very well, I got to tell you. You're 10 years younger, Philberto.
Oh, sweet. Everyone should wear sunglasses.
Just kidding. So you know, we talked about GANTZ. We talked about Dr. Disrespect. He's now going to be on Spotify. He obviously signed. See, again, part of his buyout, the reason he hasn't said anything, part of his buyout will probably include an NDA. So he's not allowed to talk, or they won't give him his payout, or they can ask for the payout back. So that's why he's gone dead silent. Everybody's like, why is he so silent? It's so funny, you know, like people don't know how these contracts and, you know, contract law works and what people build into this kind of stuff. In the professional business world, if you buy somebody out and it's not under friendly circumstances, you want to bind them under an NDA so that they don't go and blast your business for at least 5 years. You know, I've signed one. So
your average show, though, has never had experience with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why everybody's like, well, why hasn't he said anything? Well, because he's contractually bound not to. Otherwise, he's not going to get paid. They'll probably say, look, we just signed contract. It's unfortunate, but you crossed the line for whatever political reason we feel, and we want to get rid of you. So we're going to pay you out $3 million, which is worse than a kick in the balls. And then, but you can't talk about it for 5 years. Then
if he hasn't said anything, why are people saying that he got fired because he was like cheating on his wife or whatever?
Well, they didn't say it was that he was cheating on his wife. It was, I think he got Me Too'd by another Twitch streamer who he was fooling around with behind on his wife.
Me Too comes for everyone.
Well, see, when I said that there were two ladies involved, one of those ladies is his wife, who also streams, and the other one is a woman that who also streams on the channel. They're much lesser channels, of course, right? But like, and supposedly he was having an affair with one of them. So he's like, hey, I banged you, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with my wife. Oh yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and Me Too your ass and get, you know, whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the case, but it just seems like there's a lot of smoke around that. What?
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know, dude, here's the thing. Everybody, this is a PSA. When you get money and influence, you start to think that you are blessed from on high. And in one way you are. In one way, not everybody is destined to have that kind of fame and power and money and reception. Okay? You fell into something. But if you abuse it, if you become arrogant, or what the Greeks called hubris, then you can lose it all, and life will say. And see, the other thing is, I'll teach you in Buddhism. What Siddhartha Buddha said on his deathbed before he passed on. He said, they asked him, what is the one lesson that you would like to teach before you die? He died of food poisoning, by the way. His lesson was, everything will be taken from you. That is his final lesson. And what he's trying to tell you is, things come into this world to your benefit. Things come into this world that are not to your benefit. All of it will be taken from you at some point. Every loved one, your life itself, things that come into your life, you enjoy them. Even Stoicism teaches that. Stoicism teaches when you kiss your wife goodbye, when you kiss your child goodbye, give them a kiss like it's the last time you'll ever see them, because you never know when life will take them from you. This just became a philosophy video.
That's some true words from Dr. Disrepute.
Dr. Disrepute. Careful. Careful. Careful, bro.
Okay.
I'm also Stefan Molyneux, obviously. But, yeah, Stoicism.
Oh,
what's that?
Poor Stefan. He got kicked off too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think they corrected that, or maybe not. But again, it's another powerful, intelligent man who is, you know, dealing with
He's
that.
got all kinds of wrong thing for YouTube, though.
He's what now?
He's got all kinds of wrong thing filming.
Oh,
YouTube.
wrong think? Yeah, he's all full of that wrong think. It's about time. You know what? They should just take him out, put him against the wall, shoot him, and charge his relatives for the bullet.
They probably would if they could.
Oh, that's what the communist Chinese do. They send your folks a bill for body disposal and a bullet. It's like, oh my God, bro. Anyway, so this is a bunch of wrong think on this video too. So, what other gaming news? The Atari VCS. I know you're going to be an early adopter of that.
No. It seemed like an April Fool's joke to me, to be honest.
The Atari VCS?
Yeah, it seems like something that it's never even going to come out. You know what I mean?
Well, it's supposed to be like a real console, and I'm like, dude, this is the most competitive market there has ever been, and you
can't.
Yeah. Did you see my idea of on my video? Probably not.
Oh, like the free system thing?
Yeah, give it away for free. Oh my God, that would be a stroke of genius, man. I would sell a subscription, 10 or 15 bucks a month, something nobody will notice on their statements, and just like, hey, take it for free and get my user base up to like, 50 million units, and the world is your oyster at that point. Everybody wants on.
That would actually work if you got enough people.
Oh yeah. And if you made it free, or like I said, if you made it the same price as the original Atari,
yeah.
I never looked that up. What was it? What is the? I never looked that up. I really should. I really should look that up and see what the original. I thought it was $100. I thought it was like $100.
I have a feeling it was $100 after a while, but when it first came out, it was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember my uncle. He bought a copy of Asteroids as soon as he could. Like, he was totally stoked.
It's huge.
And back then, I think he paid like $90 for the cartridge or something. It was an incredible amount of money back then.
I'll tell you what, hold on one second. Because my curiosity is killing me at this point.
You gonna check it out?
Yeah, Atari, let's see, Atari 2600 original price. Original cost? Yeah, original price. Here it is. What did it debut at? Released in 1977 on September 11th. Oh, that's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a little weird, isn't it? And 2600, huh? Let's see. Low to... all right, let's go to the wiki. It's not giving me the little bite. You know that's what I want to know. You know that's what I want to know. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Introductory price was $199, which was the equivalent of $839 in 2019.
Wow.
$200 introductory price. Holy crap. See, they could totally do that for this one. They should totally do the original price. Like, we haven't raised the price since 1977. They should totally do that. Totally do that.
$200 is still no chump change, though.
Well, $200 back then was a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Holy.
Today, it's like, even though it's competitive with the other consoles are still got so much more power to stomp you.
Yeah, and I don't think it even has a disk drive in it. It's just a net only.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it even takes a disk, bro. And it certainly doesn't take the original cartridges. So I mean, sure, it has every game preloaded on it, but it's Atari, for God's sakes.
No one cares about Atari anymore. Like, even little kids are like,
it doesn't have a lot of retro value, you know?
No.
What do you think? This is live, exclusive here on the Fancy Action Now. Philberto, What is the best retro system, or what retro system do you enjoy the most? I think I know, but
Is PS1 considered retro, or do you got to go old?
oh yeah, anything after like, I mean, after this generation, even 360 and PS3 will be retro.
No, I don't think so. I think it has to be at least like.
Has to be
I
what?
don't know. I think it has to be at least 20 years old to be retro.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Something like that. But yeah, I'd say PS1 would probably be, if I had to pick one, I'd pick that one. Just because the amount of games I have for it, like way more than than the Super Nintendo or the Genesis, which would probably be my number 2 and 3.
So would the original Xbox be considered a retro system?
I don't think so, not yet.
Well, you're almost. It came out in 2001.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you'd have to go back to like worse graphic than the PS2 and Xbox. See, with the 460p, that's still like an HD system. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got to go further back to that to be retro.
Well, if you're gonna do me like that, well, you know what you could do? You could divide the line at cartridge versus disc too.
Yeah, you could do that.
I mean, you could do like Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age. I mean, you could do a couple of things. So it's like cartridge stopped at the 360 PS2. Actually, PS1. Saturn took memory cartridges though, but that's the one that's like on the line. But it's still a disc system. You're right. It's a disc system. The only one that Nintendo blurred that line a little bit with the N64. But you could say, like, if you use Nintendo as your benchmark, you could say anything before the N64 on that era is retro. I guess.
I think a lot of people probably think that way.
You know what I think is retro? I think it's like we're in, what is it, the 8th generation? I think we're in 8th. Or are we in 7th? I think we're
7th was 360.
367th gen was 360, right? So
yeah.
I think anything beyond the most recent past generation. So like we're in the PS4 generation. I think the PS3 is not considered retro yet until the PS5 actually drops. Then it becomes retro. So I would consider like PS3 and 360 because they actually shared games too, right? So this generation and last generation actually shared content. So I would say that's not retro. But the one before that would be retro. So you're talking like PS2, Xbox One. That I would still consider retro at this point. But that's my benchmark. For what it's worth.
They share too, though.
Like what? Like there's games on all 3 platforms? Like PS2, there's a game on all 3 platforms?
Yeah, isn't that what you just said?
Yeah, like what game shares all 3 platforms? Like PS2, PS3, PS4.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Generations.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So but there might be like one, probably a sports title. I think there was like one sports title that released on the PS2, PS3, and PS4. I think.
Like FIFA?
Some PES or FIFA or something like that, yeah. But like PS2, I think, believe it or not, it would either be Xbox One or PS2, Xbox or PS2 for me, and probably PS2. Just because that library is so crazy and the imports are so good. You know what I mean? And it's such a straightforward system. You know, it's just to me, I think the PS2 would probably be the best, what I would call retro console. Now, if it was a non-disc console, believe it or not, even though I'm a Sega fanboy, I'd probably have to say Super Nintendo. I said it.
Yep.
It's out.
I'd have to agree.
It's out. It's out, man. It's out. But
oh my gosh.
I said, and the reason is like when you play Sega Genesis, and there are some standout amazing games on the Genesis, but when you play like Super Castlevania, that's hard to compete with. The color, the sound, Super Metroid, another massive hit, a huge game. Even older stuff like ActRaiser. I liked ActRaiser. And
I love that.
You like that game? I loved ActRaiser. I thought it was a great game. I remember looking at the screenshots of the wolf, and I'm like, oh, that's badass. Look how fucking big he is, And the moon, the moon was this freaking big,
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
And there's so many, I'm not really into it, but the import scene on the Super Famicom is also pretty freaking cool, man. That's one thing I haven't even gotten into. I'm like, one of these days I'm going to have to get a Super Famicom and get into the, the retro Famicom, because there's a ton of cool games. Turtles in Time is another one, huge. That blew me away because it's like an arcade, 1-to-1 port. I mean, I love that game. I love Turtles in Time, man. I played the hell out of that.
If you do want to get Famicom games, you don't need to buy a Super. You can just pull out the little tabs on your Super Nintendo, and the games just go right in.
Yeah, it's a physical lockout. It's not a software lockout. Yeah, I did that with my N64.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went ahead and what was it? I got a Japanese, but you see, I did it the reverse way. Well, I did it for the reverse reason. I got a Pikachu N64, a blue and gold Pikachu N64 from Japan. And I wanted to play American games on it. So I went in there and cracked off the tab and ground it out, and now it'll play whatever you want, So yeah, I hard modded the Pikachu console, which is probably blasphemy to some people, but you can't tell, man. You can't tell. So I had to get that special screwdriver and all that stuff. So anyway, I'll tell you what. Why don't you? This has been a really, really a cool episode. What do you want to talk about, bruh?
Well, I guess we're doing gaming news, right? So
Yeah.
I've kind of had like this weird fascination with what's been going on with Last of Us 2.
Sorry.
I don't know. I think that the quartering is what really got me like following what's going on with it. I have no interest in playing the game or anything, but I'm just fascinated with like the media around it and like people's reactions to it, and even more so like how like the company like Sony and Naughty Dog, they're defending it so hard, and now we've got these like fake reviews, I guess, kind of. I don't know. I saw something that Quartering was talking about, fake reviews that's bumping up the score for the Metacritic. I don't know if that's true, but it's just.
Oh, it's true.
It's
It's true.
Huh?
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's verifiable. They actually, what they did was they went through the reviews and they got the actual file and pulled it into Excel and sorted it based on the verbiage. And just so many of them were the exact same statement with a tiny little tweak. So it would accept it as a new review, like one word switched out or something like that. And there was just like 47%. Okay, there's that number 47 again. 47% of the positive reviews, the 10 out of 10s, were manufactured. And you have to remember, those came out prior to the user scores. So they were preloading. They literally, forget thumb on the scale, elephant on the scale. So they were preloading. They were guaranteeing locking themselves into a 10 out of 10. They literally breached every ethic known to man that would be considered legitimate business practice and went ahead and stacked the deck, not just a little, but 50% of the deck was a guaranteed outcome. It's almost like a presidential election.
My question is, at what point did they figure out that they were going to have to do this kind of damage control and get all the faking and all the journalists talking about how great the game was and all this stuff? There must have been some point where they're like, fuck, we got to do something. Flop.
Well, that was part of their damage control. And just like Richard Nixon, it's not the crime, it's the cover up that gets you. And what Sony has done in the most unbelievable way, they have both panicked like little girls. Do you know what I mean? It's like, look, if you're going to look, okay. Let's go epic on this one, okay? I'm going to stand up too. Hold on. Let me push this away. All right, here we go. Dr. Disrepute is up. So okay. I want you to think about this. And I did this before, but now we keep adding bricks to the wall. So let's start at the beginning. First of all, 7-year development phase, right? It has come, and again, a lot of people aren't talking about this, but it's not about Anita. But let's say Anita Sarkeesian goes in there and consults with him. She consults with him about this specific game, and then we start hearing that there are rewrites and that there are switching gears and there are delays in the game. And I think this game was most of the way done. I really do. I think it was written. It was most of the way done into the 3rd or 4th year of development, ready for release. And then he gets Sarkeesian in there and they do the rewrites and they chop the game. And there's everybody said the story makes no sense and it's all over the place. That is a sign of a panicked rewrite and a launch before you were able to smooth it out because you had trashed the original story. And I think they were using some of the things that they had recorded and they had programmed originally, but then had to do a lot of editing to make it functional. Okay, we've seen this in video games before where they'll bring a new director on, they'll switch gears, they'll have to cobble together the previous work and then add in a bunch of other stuff, and it's not cohesive as it should be. So then we hear about people leaving. The number one writer on both Uncharted and The Last of Us is a female, and she left. She was literally badgered out of it, probably because they were butchering her work. Okay? Imagine being hugely successful on the previous game, being basically a legend in the video game industry as a writer, and then coming in and having Anita Sarkeesian just run through with her hobnail boots all over your storyline. I would be absolutely, just abject. I mean, I would have left too. But there's also, because a lot of what was going on, they had people of Christian beliefs that were a little uneasy about what was going on or were concerned about the direction the story was going and voiced some of their concerns, and they were literally harassed and drummed out. Okay, all right, so be that as it may. Then a disgruntled employee, probably one of those people that we just talked about, early releases the game out of spite. And again, they did damage control on that, but I don't believe a word of it. I honestly don't. I do think somebody just took a thumb drive in there, downloaded the cutscenes, and just put them out and blew the whole pot, right? So then when those drop, okay, now here's the thing, Philberto. As a company, that's devastating, right? That's devastating. I totally understand being upset. But as an ethical company, you have to just kind of take it and do your damage control, do your PR. But they went after channels, DMCA'd them, hired a third-party hit team, hired a third-party company to DMCA these people who have businesses, families, have a history on YouTube. And like I said, you're an independent contractor. Who do you think YouTube's going to side with? Okay? So they're going to side with the third-party company from Sony, who goes in and files frivolous strikes and claims against these creators who have no recourse, no protection, no court of appeals, nothing, right? So, I mean, they can go to YouTube and go, "Wah, please help," but that's about it. It depends on what they want to do. So they go ahead and they do that. They basically strike these channels, cause some channels to absolutely lose their ability to live stream, lose their ability to broadcast, potential loss of their channel. I mean, they were going for the throat. And then when it all came out, and even like the one guy got a lawyer, and see that again, the smartest thing in the world, he got an attorney and he said, these are frivolous. And again, if you're a YouTube channel and you're airing the content that somebody leaked to the web, that's not your fault. That's not your crime, right? You're a reporter. I mean, it's out. Once it's out, it's out. Once it's out, it's out. That's it. You can commentate on it. You're protected. You're protected under the First Amendment. You can speak about something that was leaked in the media. You haven't signed any agreement that says you're not allowed to discuss that. It's ridiculous. So Sony.
I was shocked that Sony did that. It's just incredible to me how low they. I would never even think they'd do that.
I'm like, there are so many companies, Philberto, that would want to do it but wouldn't, because it would be like, we are above that kind of behavior. We are not going to drag our own name in the mud and be so fragile. I mean, you're Sony. It's not the only game you have in the pipe, jackass. And you know what? If they fuck up, then buy another studio and have them produce something of equal quality. You know, there's a nice, hardworking studio out there that would love $10 million and would produce whatever you would like. I mean, come on. That's the thing. I mean, it's like, you're going to do this for Naughty Dog? I know they're a cornerstone. See, the reason they did it is they're in a panic because this is their new system launch year. And if you remember, The Last of Us Remaster was what really launched the PS4. I mean, that was a big deal when that came out. Like, you were going to be able to get it on PS3. Oh, and if you loved it on PS3, we're launching it with the PS4. I mean, that was like their bridge. That and Uncharted was like their bridge. Those are really big diamond keystone properties for them. I get that. I get how big they are. But they let that studio take an awful chance on what they were doing. I mean, they were literally provoking the entire gaming community. And then not only that, and then here's the other thing, the deceptive trailers. The deceptive trailers where they de-age Joel, and it's just like, okay, we're going to portray the fact that Joel and Ellie are going to be together, and they thought that that would be clever in some way, where we're going to lie to you, and you see, again, it could have been clever and a shock, like a shock twist, like M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. But it's like, it could have been clever if they handled it in a different way. But instead, it just comes off as pure deception. Like, we have this like woke message that we want to force down everybody's throat, but we don't want it to affect sales. So we're going to make everybody think that the favorite character of that game is not Ellie. See, that's the thing. Ellie is not the favorite character of those two. It's Joel. Joel is the favorite character. Sorry, he is, right? So you buy a game and you want to play as Nathan Drake or Joel, right? So, but they kill him in partway through the first act, and they do it in such a way that he goes down like a punk, which just torques everybody off. It's like, look, even though it's cliche, let's say Joel like sacrificed himself so Ellie could escape out the back window from a like a Titan quadricep, Rat King quadricep monster, and he has to just go at it and do like the guy from Jaws where he's like macheting the shark as he goes down. Something like that where you let him go out like a hero, a man, or somebody, or sacrificing himself for Ellie, which was basically his entire raison d'etre. That was his entire reason for staying alive, was to protect her because he failed his daughter. So they totally just said, who cares about all that? I mean, it's just terrible. And you can tell that the story's not cohesive. So it was an intentional rewrite, and then all of the crunch. And I recounted that story where one of the employees who was working overnight, they were doing construction, and they were just throwing like metal pipes and beams down as trash because they were doing work on the other floor, and they almost killed the guy. They almost killed him because he was there working so late they didn't think anybody was down there.
Oh my.
So they fired that construction company and hired a new one, but the construction company wasn't at fault. You shouldn't have people working there like that. But at any rate, so they're abusing their employees. They're harassing people with Christian beliefs. And they lost their best writer. They lost some of their voice actors. They lost some of their programmers and developers, right? So literally people are bailing on this. The game is fucking cursed. And then they go to release, and then and again, here you go. I said they were bought and sold. Everybody said they were bought and sold. And Elena Pierce came out and go, well, that's not how it works. You don't really give people money for good reviews. Well, then how do you achieve 47% manufactured reviews? How do you achieve that?
Accent.
Yeah, it's basically spam. They spammed reviews, right? They spammed reviews. They utilized their access. And then, see, this is the other thing that strikes me as almost being a mafioso tactic, where I do a review of Philberto, and I say, he's a 6 or he's a 7 or whatever. And then you call me up and you're like having some awkward conversation with me going, yeah, hey, Rob, 6 or 7, huh? Wow. Are you going through bad times in your life right now? Are you sad about something? I mean, because I'm a fucking genius. I'm Philberto 78. I think maybe you're going through personal problems right now. Do you really want to rethink what you said about a rating me a 7? Do you think that's fair? That's what they actually said to the guy. They actually called up reviewers. Again, who are you? Who are you? I wouldn't do that if I had a one-man company and I created a game and somebody came out and I thought it was a 10, but they reviewed it as a 7 or a 6 or a 5. They gave me a bad review. I'm not going to call them up and go, yeah, I'm really important. My mom said so. And, yeah, can you make it a 10? I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Sony? You're calling reviewers. I didn't get a call, by the way. No, you're calling reviewers and you're literally asking them to rethink to reconsider. And did you realize that this had new graphics?
Just completely unethical people running the show now.
Well,
so
what are you trying to do? You're trying to do one of two things or both, which I think it's both. One is you're trying to make me feel guilty about my review. Two, you're trying to intimidate me because you're Sony and you're actually calling my house.
Yeah.
If you got a call from Sony, if you got a call from somebody that said, "Hi, Philberto, I'm the public relations director for Sony Corporation. I'd like to talk to you about your review of The Last of Us 2. How do you feel about that?"
I'd say, so how much do you want, or how much are you going to pay me for a good review, guys?
Yeah, is it a sliding scale based on my subscribers or what? So I'm like,
That's what happened to a lot of these guys, I'm sure. They just took some money or something and said, hey, I'll make a deal with you guys. I'll give you guys a good review and you can do something for me.
Well, the only way they could have achieved that if they were in with all of these review houses and they basically said, here's our press release. We want you to publish this as often as fucking possible. I mean, fucking mafia. This is like the most mafia shit I've ever seen. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to do it. The game is a 6. You went down a like woke political road with the thing. Fine. Well, you have to take your lumps. It's like when you start a business or you try something new, there's always risk involved. So they had a story. See, they could have made a sequel that would have been an unmitigated success. That's the funny thing. Like, I'm like, wow. I'm like, you could have done a sequel. Hey. All right. I have to figure out how to work chairs. There you go. So you could have done a sequel that would have been an unmitigated success without very much effort at all. I think they were most of the way there. And they went and did this woke nonsense and just fucking destroyed the brand. I mean, they wrecked the brand. And they that's why I said in my video, you need to saw through those cuffs because Sony is the one that is like backing all of this nefarious nonsense.
Why would they do that? It's so strange.
As big as you are, as dominant as you are in the marketplace, one of the things I think, Philberto, is I kind of wonder about this. Here's a theory. It's a little bit out there, though. You know how, like, in the American market, you can't have a monopoly? You understand how that works? Like, you're not allowed to be the most dominant. Like, once you get to a certain percent of market share, they consider you a monopoly. So you have to have a competitor to offset. That's why there's Coke and Pepsi. There's always these two. There's always two. That's why it's Coke and Pepsi. That's why it's Burger King and McDonald's. And there's a bunch of other littler ones. But, who's the big dogs? We know who the big dogs are, right? There's Walmart and Target. Why is it that there's always these two big players? Because the way the FTC works and the way the stock market works, there are protections, there are laws in place that will not allow you to have a complete monopoly. Even though if you got rid of Pepsi tomorrow, some people would be bent out of shape, but like Coke would just dominate. But they're not allowed to. Go ahead.
I think it's more than just the rules that the companies have to follow. That's just kind of the nature of business. It's like in-late nature, where you're always going to have two big guys on top. You're never going to one person like run the whole show and then like no one else.
Right. But you're not allowed to in the United States. You're not allowed to have that's why they say like Microsoft, they want to break up Microsoft. They want to break up. When they say they want to break up these companies, they want to create a second company to compete with the other one because they believe that's the business. Yeah. So, this is what I think. In America anyway, the two big players for video. Well, actually, no, it's now like Nintendo. There's like 3 big players, right? There's Nintendo, there's Xbox, and there's PlayStation. PlayStation totally owned this last generation. I mean, they dominated. And I couldn't believe the Switch has done so well. It's done amazingly well. I just bought my daughter a Switch.
Oh, cool.
For her birthday. I got her the Pokemon version. She will be very pleased. She will be very pleased. Huh? It's like silver. Yeah. She's a big, her friends are too. It's like a social thing with her girlfriends and stuff. They all like Pokemon. And she draws them. She draws them, she creates them, and all kinds of crazy stuff. So she was like, she came up to me and she goes, Dad, Dr. Disrepute, I know it's expensive, but do you think maybe I could get a Switch? And I said, well, that's what you want for your birthday? And she's like, well, if you can. I'm like, yeah, I got you. I got you, boo. So I just got it. I just got it in the mail. It's nice. So it's a light though. It's not the regular Switch. It's a Switch Lite.
Oh,
Because she's only a Wii person.
it's just the handheld version, right?
Yeah.
Put it on your TV.
Yeah. It is a little bit scaled down, but for her, I mean, she just wants to throw it in her bag and go. You know, she don't want to deal with all of this, and nah. So.
There are some Switch games that I'd kind of like to play, but I don't want to mess with handheld. I wish they'd just make like the TV only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have something I can only put on my television and charge for it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to break down and get like a regular Switch at some point, but it's like, oh, pardon me. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush. If I find one good out there in the world, like at a pawn, like a really good deal where they've got like, but what was funny is everybody was getting overstocked on them. And I'm like, oh, they're going to start like getting rid of them cheap, and I can pick one up cheap. And then the lockdowns happen, and every freaking video game in every pawn shop has been bought. I mean, it's just emptied out because people are trapped. Anyway, so The Last of Us. So the final thing, the last video with the quartering and everybody is that 47% of the reviews are manufactured. Yeah, well, I mean, who can go to Metacritic and take it seriously at this point?
These companies are giving themselves in the foot. So, like, why are they committing suicide? They don't have any foresight at all.
Well, here's the thing, Philberto. What I don't like is that they introduced blocks to negative reviews, but they didn't go and scrub the positive reviews. You're supposed to be you're not supposed to be the arbiter. You're just supposed to be this platform where people provide these reviews, and you can't tell me that Metacritic didn't know and doesn't have an algorithm for noticing repetitive reviews. That's all they do. Of course, people go on there and submit repetitive reviews all the time. It's the oldest trick in the book. I guarantee you they had an algorithm, and they just left them up there. They left them up there by design, and I'm like, dude. You're bought and sold. You're bought and sold. Nobody can take you seriously, just like Rotten Tomatoes. Nobody can consider you a legitimate review site. You're just a facade. You're a facade for soccer moms, for the Karens.
Another factor might just be the whole woke thing, and I'm sure a lot of reviewers are giving positive reviews just because the game is woke. Everyone knows it. And they know that if they write a negative review, they're going to be attacked all over the place because you can't mess with the woke brigade anymore. It'll just be like kicked off the internet.
Well, here's the thing. They killed Joel. It was symbolic. They killed him with a golf club. They released the game. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, Philberto. As a father, I'm like, Jesus, they released the game where Joel gets killed with a golf club on the Friday before Father's Day.
It's insulting, right?
I mean, that's by design, dude. That's by design. I mean, that's Neil Druckmann going, fuck dads. Fuck fathers. And I'm like, dude. I'm like, and what I said to him in one of my videos, and I really mean this, you're not scaring us. You can go woke and go against men and go against fathers and say we're shit and we're trash and, we're the responsible for every problem in the world and we're just, we're all rapists and we're all abusers and we're all bums and we're all drunks and we're all angry and we're all racist and all this other garbage. And you know what? Most working guys are out there working 60, 80 hours a week to make ends meet. If they're raising a family, if they're sticking around, if they're even bothering, right? And they're just trying to get through the day, get a cup of coffee, go to work, deal with the bullshit that you have to deal with on a daily basis. And I'll say this about men and fathers. 80% of work-related deaths, men. 80% of true income tax contribution, men. because men put in, but they don't take out. They don't claim benefits like anybody else does. Okay? 80% of homeless, men. 80% of suicides, men. I'll stop there. I can keep going. I'll stop there. I can keep going. But all I'm trying to say is that Druckmann, you releasing the game and killing Joel before Father's Day is a transparent psychology on yourself. You're not bothering me or men or fathers. Men and fathers are working themselves and dying on the job and working themselves into early graves. And they're walking to their graves with a smile on their face to provide for their families, to provide for the people around them in their communities. They're not scared of you or your symbolism. I'm not scared of that. That doesn't bother me. Again, if I have to walk through a firewall for my daughter, a legitimate firewall, I would do it. If I have to catch a bullet for my daughter, I would do it. If I have to work myself until I have a heart attack for my daughter, I will do it. Because that is my reason. That's my raison d'etre, my reason for life. That's who I am. But, you know, grown men know what death is all about. Grown men and fathers know that they will lay their lives down. They are prepared to do that on a moment's notice without hesitation. Okay? Those people, those real men in this world are not afraid of your video game or your symbology. And it is a transparent psychology of yourself as a weak male, as a beta male, because a real man wouldn't do that. A grown man would not have done that to Joel. Not in a heartbeat. Now, he might have killed him in the story for the effect, because we all knew that Joel was racing to his own death. Because, you know, you're going to, again, the apocalypse, you're not going to live that long, bro. You're not going to, it's just like in the frontier days, you're not going to live past 50, or, if you make it to 60, you're going to be a freaking amazing miracle. Okay. And he knew that. You could tell Joel threw himself into situations where he knew he didn't care. It didn't matter. Again, that's how most fathers feel about it. You throw yourself into stuff. You're going to croak at some point. You're just like, well, I'll ride it until I'll provide and protect my family as long as I can. So it's like doing that with some homunculus, I don't know what you would call it, person. And, that is not racist, sexist, misogynist, or anything else. That was a man. That was a woman in name only. I mean, she was built as thick as me. All right. I'm 270 pounds. She was my size. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. That was like, now, of course, that's me like 30 pounds less. But I'm like, yeah, take a look at that. That's an Abby arm right there. That's an Abby arm, bro.
Do you think Abby was originally written?
Huh?
Do you think Abby was originally written as a man?
I think she was pasted on. She has a look of being a non-integrated character, if you ask me. She was slapped in there. And having some awkward sex scene, which was, again, that was like pasted on. I mean, the whole thing looks, half the game looks pasted on. But so the whole thing is like, this is like become the biggest shit show in video games. And I don't know what Sony's going to do at this point. I mean, you have literally undermined your own damage control. All Sony had to do was say, we let our studio go in a different direction on this game. We hope everybody likes it. Have a nice day. Even after the leaks, it just came out, just do a press release and just say, this is unfortunate, but we're going to let the game stand on its own merit. We hope you enjoy the story. It is an unconventional take. And we understand that, but we hope you will give us a chance and just let it go at that. Take your lumps, take your sales. And now more and more stories are coming out and again, they're keeping it very quiet in the United States. They're keeping it, the sales numbers are absolutely silent in the United States. I can't find any. Yeah, but Japan, it's a dud. Other countries are giving away 3 games. If you buy 3 games, you get The Last of Us 2 for free.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
See, and you know what's funny? What everybody always forgets in the United States? United States is a very unique animal. I would say 90% of the other countries in the world aren't even woke or close. They're not even close to woke. They're no way. They're not as even near our progressives. We always look at like, you know, Europe and France and, you know, this kind of stuff. And some of those countries are very woke and very progressive, quote unquote progressive. But the United States like stands alone with that nonsense. And most of the world doesn't give a rap. Most of the world thinks it's a joke. Thinks it's a joke. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, but they do. I mean, it's like, so, you know, it's like, hey, nobody wants that. The international sales are terrible. And they have like pictures of like stacks and stacks. And I predicted that there's going to be so many unsold units. They're going to be in a secret Area 51 landfill. And you'll never know, but they'll just incinerate them or something. I don't know what they're going to do, but there are so many copies out there. And I'm waiting for the sales numbers to come out here in the U.S. Because you know somebody would make a video about it. Nobody's made a video about the sales numbers in the U.S. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know.
What people do that?
I think it's a flop. I really think it's funny that like I rated it a 6, and so did Angry Joe, and so did PewDiePie. And everybody's just coming out and go, yeah, it's a 6.
Yeah. Definitely not a 10.
Well, you know, just when you think the controversy is over, I think this may be the last video I ever talk about The Last of Us 2 again. Because I was actually going to do a list video of the entire shit show from beginning to end. I don't think I have the heart for it. I don't think I have the heart for it anymore, man. I'm done. Dr. Disrepute. He's worn out.
I know Neil Druckmann worked on the first game. Were you just saying that there was some woman that also wrote the story for the first game?
Yeah, Neil Druckmann was a creative director, but there was a writer, a female writer, who left the company, and she was the writer for Uncharted. She was a writer on Uncharted. They have multiple writers, but she was a lead writer on Uncharted and The Last of Us 2. And she left. She quit.
Huh.
So, and they've had a lot of layoffs. They have 70% attrition.
Yeah, that's really...
Well, that tells you have a dysfunctional workplace.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you produced a mediocre, woke shit show. So, you know, there you go. And, you know, again, if you just want to go to that point, do the Dr. Disrepute video. It is a mediocre, rated 6, woke shit show. There you go. There's the Dr. Disrespect video right there. I did the hair switch, man. Yeah, that's it. It's a 6, and if you're me, it's a 5. So, but that's it. So what do you before we go? What is it? 7 o'clock. Here it's 7 o'clock. Before we go, because I got to go walk my mother's dog. Maybe I'll go like this. Maybe I'll go like this and just trip my whole neighborhood out. I'm on neighborhood watch too. Did you know that I'm the block captain?
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they entrust me with that bullshit.
Do you guys have to wear your mask when you go outside now?
Well, no. I do have a vest, though. I do have a vest. Yeah, you want to see it? Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Wait, I'm not really attached. I
don't know what a mask would do with the vent, but I guess we're going to find out here pretty soon. Yeah, we've got to wear masks anytime we leave the house now in Arizona. It's kind of we weren't having to do it for a while, but just I'd say within the last month, government edict. Anytime you go out, you got to wear it. And I mean, technically, I guess there's all these cases, the COVID cases. I don't think that many people are dying from it. No, it's like media sensationalism. But hopefully we can kind of go back to normalcy. I don't know about you guys, but I hate staying in the house all the time. I don't know, not knowing if anywhere I go is going to be operating. Toro lost his vest. Toro!
Yeah.
Come back!
What's going on?
I was just dealing with the dead air by talking about the virus. Oh, okay, we can see you walking around now. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, respect my authority. All
You
right.
go patrolling everything.
Yeah, there you go. Dr. Disrepute is on Neighborhood Watch. All right, there you go. That was it. That was the vest reveal.
Okay. Very cool.
Well, I have to say, we have to see how the sound turns out. I have to say, this is the best Philberto versus Toro video ever.
Oh, yeah, I had a good time.
It was fun, wasn't it? I had a good time too. So I got to go walk old lady dogs, and so that's going to be it for me. And then I want to come back and play some video games, and then drink myself to sleep, and that's about it. But
what game are you playing now?
well, you know what? Let me check on. I'm expecting something. I am expecting something. I don't know if I got it yet, but I'm going to just check my tracking here. This one has taken a shit long time to get to me. I'm really excited about that GANTZ compilation. I'm hoping that gets to me before I suffer a horrible accident or anything. Let's see, track package. Tracking provided. Okay. Let's see. It is. Yeah, I'm looking for that one. I have spent a lot of money on gaming this month. Well, it looks like it might be heading out soon. I just recently purchased, and I have not played yet, Earth Defense Force 4.1. But I also ordered 5, and that's on the way. So I should get Earth Defense Force 5 very soon. So anyway, so this is the end of the Dr. Disrespect parody, Dr. Disrepute. Disrepute? Oh, man. Disrepute.
You can do a video of it again later.
I do. I need to. I'm going to pull it. I think this is going to come out again. I don't know if it's going to be like with a you and me video, but it's definitely, I'm going to do a Dr. Disrespect video. I'm going to have to do like a parody. I'm going to have to do like a reveal, like Dr. Disrespect speaks. And I'm going to come out and do a video or something like that. Keep your eye out for it. What did you think? What did you think of my parody of Escape from New York, Snake Plissken?
Oh, I didn't even know you were doing a parody, actually. I thought it was like some kind of promo you were doing to like show a video that was coming soon or something. You know what I mean?
You know, I positioned it like that, but I don't know if I have it in me to do like a whole thing. I don't know. But what did you think about what was there?
I like what was there. It was very good.
Okay.
You look hilarious with that wig.
Dude, I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. I have a kid and a house, and God knows, you know. But anyway, I have fun. I have fun doing this kind of stuff.
Awesome.
But anyway, all right, we'll let you go. This is awesome.
All right,
Philberto, Toro, peace.